How much do we have? Today we have come together in opposition of the anti-terrorism law and the online safety bill that have been proposed by the government and is due to come up in Parliament tomorrow and thereafter. In both these laws, what we can see is that there is a clear intention to repress the voice of the people, to repress the freedom of expression, the freedom of assembly, the freedom of association of the people of this country. Especially at a time like this, at a critical juncture, when there is much turmoil in the country, there is an economic crisis coupled with a governance crisis, indeed caused by a governance crisis, and the people of this country, we saw last year, get together to express their opinion and agitate against the policies and practices of government. And even in that context, when civil society and the citizens of this country have begun to engage in governance, have begun to express their discontent, to express their opinions, both on the streets and on online media and in media in general, both these laws, we say, have been brought with a clear intention to repress civil society. At a moment when corruption has been the focus of the IMF, of the country, and indeed where citizens are expecting government to take action against corruption, what we're seeing is another more insidious form of corruption. The abuse of the legislative process to repress citizens is indeed a form of corruption and should not be tolerated. And to our public representatives and our president, we say that you should not abuse the legislative process to repress citizens and that the people are watching you. The same people that protested, the same people who have been expressing their opinions online, who have been organizing to dissent, to express legitimate dissent, are currently watching you as well. In the future, if you vote, especially to the MPs in government, we say, if you vote for such repressive laws like this, the people will hold you accountable. While the elections, the local government elections, the provincial council elections have been illegally, indefinitely postponed, this cannot hold forever. The people will express their dissent and they will express their dissent against you electorally if you should vote for laws such as these. We have ample laws in the law books, the general law, both civil and criminal, to deal with instances such as misinformation, disinformation, and also terrorist activities. In that context, the government, we say, have not justified the need for such a law. And in the absence of such a justification, why would you delegitimize yourself by bringing such a law? At a point when people have lost confidence, there is a trust deficit, why would you bring forward such anti-democratic pieces of legislation? What are you afraid of? The president, the government, what are you afraid of? Why are you afraid of the citizens' right to free assembly, to association, and the freedom of expression? So we call upon the president and the government to withdraw the anti-terrorism bill, to withdraw the anti-terrorism bill, which is indeed no better than the version that was brought a few months ago and is indeed worse in certain ways and extremely much worse than the Prevention of Terrorism Act. So we call upon you to withdraw the anti-terrorism bill, to withdraw the purported online safety bill, and indeed to also repeat the Prevention of Terrorism Act. All of these laws have been brought with the intent of weaponizing law against the public, and therefore we call upon you to withdraw these laws immediately, forthwith. Ankita Gunratna, Deputy Executive Director of Transparency International, Sri Lanka.